Hi, this is Mrs. Jones, and we're going to work on systems of equations by graphing. And when you're going to graph an equation, do not forget to always use slope-intercept form like we have learned earlier. So there's another video if you have forgotten how to do slope-intercept form. So here we go. First thing we're going to do is we want to graph the first equation, which is already in the slope-intercept form. The starting point is always going to be the y-intercept. So that means on my y-axis, which is this axis going straight up and down, there's the x, I'm going to put a dot at the -4, which is right down here. All right, then I'm going to look at the 2. That's in the slope spot, because it's y equals mx plus b. M is the slope. Well, my slope in this equation is 2. So I'm going to automatically put it over 1. And that is rise over run. So from here, I'm going to rise 2, 1, 2, and I'm going to run over 1. And I can do that again. Rise 2, run over 1. They're both positive, so that means I'm going to rise up 1, and I'm going to run that way. Going to do it again. Up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. And then I have enough points that I can make a really nice line even without a ruler. Okay, now it's time to graph the other equation. Because in systems of equations by graphing, what you're trying to do is find that point, the x and y point, where your two lines intersect. Excuse me. So now let's graph this one. We're going to start once again at the y-intercept. So on the y-axis, we're going to start at the +3. I want you to notice I'll always include the sign in front of the y-intercept. Same thing with the slope. We have a slope of 1/4. That's positive. Now, you have to remember this is rise over run. So if you tend to get confused about that, slow down a little bit. So from here, we're going to rise 1 and we're going to run 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I could also change both of these into a negative, because a negative over negative's a positive. That means that I can, from the y-intercept, rise down 1 and backwards 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This now gives me 3 points. And after I've done this, I can see a point where these two lines intersect. That point is my answer. Well, you want to name it with its x and y coordinates. So you have to look and see, where does it fall on your coordinate plane. So in the x, it falls at the 4, and on the y-axis, it also falls at the 4. This is your final answer, 4, 4. All right, let's look at one more together. Okay, we're going to graph this equation, or these equations. So let's start with the top one. The top one, where do you start? Correct. You want to start at the y-intercept. It's positive, so I'm going to start up here. Now this one has a negative slope, and it is a -3 over 2. And it's rise over run. So since I have a negative rise, I'm going to go down, and a positive run on the bottom means I'm going to go there. If you have a negative slope, you can only put the negative sign on the top or the bottom, not on both, because a negative over negative would be positive. So from here, I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, over 2, 1, 2. That's where I put the point. From that point, I can do the slope again. Down 3, over 2. And then I'm able to make a line. All right, we need to graph our other equation now. So for this equation, we're going to start at where? Good, the y-intercept. So I'm the -2. This has a positive slope, 3 over 2, rise over run. So I'm going to rise 3, 1, 2, 3, and run to the right 2, 1, 2. Oh, look where I fell. That's great. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, over 2. And now I can make points there also. Okay, I'm not done because my final answer is this point where the two lines intersect. So we have to name it with the x and the y coordinates. So if this is the x-axis, here's the y-axis, x and y coordinate. This falls on the x-axis at the 2, and it falls on the y-axis at the 1. So your final answer is 2, 1. And this is how you solve systems of equations by graphing.